and gentlemen, and welcome to our SMID monthly training. Right, so it's great and it's a great pleasure to share with you as always. So if you look around my surroundings, I think you can see there's quite a bit of difference, right, compared to our usual background way back, right? So we are very proud to announce that we have officially moved out from that old office in Malaysia and finally in a brand new facility. All right, I can guarantee you that this is nothing like the old office, okay, nothing. This is really modern, really sleek, and we have added a lot of wooden panels around this area as well. So it does give a bit of that Muji vibe, and you feel really good walking inside this office. So we are going to have a grand opening launch also, okay, to officiate this place. So more details on that. But if you're around the area, if you are in Singapore, in coming down to KL, do come into our office and pay us a visit. All right, it's going to be worth your while. All right, so without further ado, let's start the topic. All right. All right, so today we are revisiting some of the most basic topics, which is sugar and what does it do to your body. All right, so as you know, Unicity is a metabolic health company. So that has always been the theme of our programs and our products. So you cannot not mention sugar or insulin without touching on metabolic health. Okay, you can't separate both of these, and they are integral and they are of a whole entity. So however, many people's understanding about sugar and insulin is only limited to graphs. All right, I don't blame that because this is how this concept has always been taught all these years. And this is also one of the simpler ways to describe the dynamics and the relationship about sugar and insulin. Right? So if you look at this graph, what does it tell you? So it tells you things like, okay, so if you eat something, okay, some carbohydrate food, your sugar go up, right? Your insulin will also go up. Then, after some time, okay, your blood sugar will crash, okay, and then below the threshold, you feel hungry, but your insulin will still stay sustained. But don't you think this is a bit very one-dimensional? Okay, it only tells you a part of the story. And most people, they have, oh yeah, so if sugar come out, insulin go up, and then full stop. So what does it actually do? And this doesn't encapsulate and doesn't reflect to you the real dynamics and the relationship of how it interacts and hence influence many other processes in the body. Okay, so today we're going to be looking on this, but using a different illustration in hopes that you have a better understanding about this subject altogether. All right? So please pardon my not so professional designer skills, right? This is my attempt at using PowerPoint slides. Okay, so I think it's pretty straightforward, right? This does look in some way like a blood vessel. Okay, I hope I'm right. So, okay, so this is basically food, right? I didn't design this, so this does look like food. So if you eat anything, okay, for that matter, okay, all these big food particles, especially carbohydrates, right, like rice or noodles, it will then be broken down into these small things, which is not a box, okay, or a dice. It's actually a sugar molecule, right? So they will become small little things and it will float in our bloodstream. So all these strange things that you're seeing at the bottom of this blood vessel is actually what we call receptors. All right, they're actually different receptor sites that are there for a reason. Okay, and we will go into it shortly. And it also reflects about how it would then eventually enter into our cells and then our body. All right. So this is whenever there is a presence of any kind of sugar that is in our body, it will then release this thing called insulin. So insulin is actually a kind of hormone. And its main function is to basically help our body to further break down this sugar. But what people don't know is that insulin does not directly interact with sugar molecule. What does it do? Insulin has to bind to the receptor. Okay, so every single cell in our body will have the receptor site on top of it. So insulin has to lock on this blue part, as you see, in order for the channel to be open. So when the door is open, and this is where your sugar molecule can then go into this channel and then be absorbed into the body. All right, I hope you're following me so far. So when this happens, it's what we usually eat, okay, on a daily basis. This is how it happens. So unfortunately, or normally, we don't stop at just taking a main meal, right? Many times when we go out and order, you know, okay, just eating something savory could be very salty, so we want to quench it with a drink, like a sweet drink. Okay, so we will order like a coffee or tea on the side. You know, it's not really enough actually. Still got some space. So that's when we will also eat a bit of dessert, ice cream, or whatever it is to finally feel satisfied. So of course, you know, that's what we do, but what would then happen in our body? So in reality, we have a lot more sugar molecules than what we see earlier. That was a very simple, straightforward illustration, but come on, you know, whenever you eat that piece of durian, okay, this is what happens. There's a lot more sugar that's being released into your bloodstream. So in order to bring this down, because sugar cannot stay very long in our bloodstream, so it will signal our body to produce more insulin. Your body has to produce the same amount of insulin to offset this same amount of sugar that is in your blood. So more sugar means your body has to produce more insulin, right? So when this happens, okay, insulin will then attach itself to specific receptor sites, and that's where the channel will be open, and all this sugar will then be able to enter into our body. So what happens after this? So when all this sugar go into our body, one of the first place it will go is your fat cells, right? Sugar loves fat cells. Okay, it likes to go and hide there and store there because it's fluffy, it's a warm, nice place. Okay, sugar loves to store itself there. So after storing and storing and storing, you will just get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And the thing about fat cell is this, okay, you can only make it big and you will multiply, okay? You cannot remove a fat cell unless you do liposuction or you remove it physically through surgery. Actually, it will not go away. You can only shrink in size. So that's the tricky part about sugar, fat, and weight increase. All right. So this is why it's such a complex relationship, and very easily people can start picking up pounds without realizing. Okay, just eat high sugar food for like a week. Guarantee you will gain weight like nobody's business. Okay, like how in Chinese New Year the way we eat. Okay, so this is a problem, a real problem. So what will happen? So when okay, this is what we say. Blood sugar naturally will increase, right? Your fasting, okay, your normal blood sugar, your fat percentage will increase, weight. So once your fat percentage increase, your cholesterol definitely will increase. It's a matter of time. Once your cholesterol increase, all the LDL will come out, and then your inflammation will start to occur. So this is just you know, an ideal situation for all kinds of disease to start coming in. Okay, infection, you are a lot more vulnerable physically, all right? And eventually, this will overwhelm the entire system. There's just too much going on. So just like any other machinery or gadget that you're using, okay, if you are constantly putting it on overdrive, if you're constantly doing stuff in there, something is gonna give way. So for like a phone or a machinery, a wire will go haywire somewhere, right? So in our body, some wiring will also go offset. So in this instance, you see, right? Okay, there are insulin and there's still sugar in our bloodstream. But even though insulin, as we see here, attaches to the receptor, for some reason, okay, this door that's supposed to open, the channels are supposed to open, cannot open anymore. So what does this tell us? It tells us that there's some form of malfunction. Even though there's the key in place, the lock cannot be opened. So this is when our body enters a state where it will reject the action of insulin. It resists the effect of insulin. So this is why we call this scenario a insulin resistance. Okay? Because this is like a jargon for some people. They don't really understand what do you mean by insulin resistance. It's basically our body has just been flooded, constantly in a situation where it's just too much sugar molecule floating around, too much insulin, and your body just don't know what to do with it already. So it causes our receptor site to go haywire. It can't do its function. So if this persists, it can be very detrimental to our body. All right, and as you know, once you're diabetes, all kinds of situations will happen. It will harm many parts of your body. Right? In fact, what kind of risk would it lead us to? So once a person who have insulin resistance, you are 1.5 to 2 times higher into getting cancer. All kinds of cancer. You are 2 times higher at risk of getting this terminal illness. And you're 1.6 times more likely to get organ failure or any kind of disability. You are much at risk of a lower quality of life or of inability to walk, okay, and this can greatly compromise your health span. And last but not least, it can increase up to 50% premature death from all causes. It doesn't matter what kind of disease. It can be small, it can be just from an infection. You get a much longer time of recovery. Some people, they don't even recover at all from a simple infection. Okay, even with antibiotics and the strongest drug will not be able to recover them from a simple illness. Right? So this speaks volumes to all of us because we all have someone that we love, right? And once you know that the person has diabetes, right, and they're in the hospital, it makes you panic a little bit really. Okay, because this happens to my grandmother and she died out of very simple causes, but because of diabetes, you don't have a good outcome. Right? Okay, it's almost guaranteed that you will not have good consequence. So as much as possible, and this is something that's preventable. So in all of our power, in our ability, please, okay, let's do something about this so we don't have to go through that kind of premature death path. All right. So as much as, of course, this is a bit in a serious tone, but insulin resistance in itself is not a death sentence. Okay. The good news about this is that it's not something that, okay, once you have it, it's like, okay, the effect is not like how you would get like cancer, right? But that is actually kind of scary, right? But this is something that you can still do something about. And it's always best when you see it and you do it early on. It's best you do it when you have no problem at all, okay, to be frank. So insulin resistance, the silver lining behind it is that it is treatable. It's something that can be managed, and if you do the right lifestyle, and if you use the right kind of plant products, okay, like us, the right kind of nutrition, it can really help you to get out from this situation if you use it well. All right, you don't have to worry about side effects like drugs can potentially do, and you can only just rest assured rely on good quality products that can help you to mitigate all these situations. Right? So we're here to tell you good news. So the solution is this. Okay, this is your answer. Feel Great is simply just 2 products and 1 practice, and it is safe, effective, and proven to be able to give you results. All right, so let's see how it works. So Feel Great generally targets 2 areas, which is number 1, food, and then stress and lifestyle. So it targets these 2 major areas that are a major contributor behind insulin overdrive. Okay, if you can manage both of these areas well, naturally you can curb the effects of excess insulin, right? So let's talk about food first. So, okay, of course, both of these products are integral, but I want to touch more on this, which is actually Buzz Life S, right? So lending a bit of my PowerPoint skills again. All right, BioSlife S, okay, what is this thing? In here, it's not just any fiber product, okay, it's a vegetable from downstairs. It's something we have carefully selected and extracted, okay, particular types, 6 types of fibers to give us the ideal composition together with our technology, all right? And how does it work is this. Okay, after we eat, there will be sugar molecules, as we said, right? So because BioSlife S have this very unique kind of technology, it expands like a net, like a, a huge net that can trap these sugar molecules, right? Potentially what fiber does is that it absorbs sugar, it traps it, so our body does not, cannot absorb all of this fully. So it only can be released, small amounts of sugar can only be released in the blood. So as a result, okay, rather than having like 10 sugar molecules, now only 3 is here. So our body naturally only produce the sufficient amount of insulin to match up with the 3 molecule of sugar here. So as a result, here all this will be taken in, you take in a lot less sugar, your body produces a lot less insulin, and all this remaining will be then removed from the body, right? So whatever food that you eat, it is able to then filter and capture some of this so it does not end up being fully absorbed into our body. So I think this is a great illustration. Okay, so of course, we need to look at graphs also. It serves a purpose. So this can show us, these are clinical studies that show exactly how it works with or without BioSlife S. So you can already see a very big difference here. If you don't eat, you have like 10 sugar molecules floating in your bloodstream, right? But if you have this BioSlife S, it can significantly bring down close to 50% of that sugar spike. So that is very significant. And that's why it's very effective. Okay, so naturally, when you eat this consistently, for even as soon as 30 days, you can already see some form of improvement in your blood lipid already. So sugar, insulin, LDL, okay, all these things can be observed if you consume this consistently, right? So next, we have to go into this part, which is the stress and the lifestyle factor, which many people don't realize it is another big contribution behind an overdrive insulin in our body. So stress, okay, whenever you are like irritated, angry, or like very frustrated over someone or any situation, your insulin level will increase as much as 50%. You know? That's a lot, okay, without eating anything, when you're just stressed only. So cortisol, as you know, stress hormone, is a very significant driver behind insulin levels. All right, and on top of that, whenever we lose sleep, we don't have enough sleep, which could also be driven by stress, okay, it can increase our insulin levels up to 30% the next day. So the next day, your sugar, this is insulin, right? Your sugar level can even be until the pre-diabetes level, you know, just with 1 day of poor sleep. So of course, sleep loss, there are many reasons, and stress, of course, is a major factor. And another thing I want to touch is the caffeinated beverages that we drink. Because it is so into our lifestyle, you know, we drink teh tarik, we drink, you know, coffee, bubble tea, like it's just a side beverage, but we don't realize the quality of caffeine that's inside and how it stays in our body and it doesn't get metabolized. So as a result, it will bleed into your sleeping quality. Okay, it will mess up with your brainwave, and then you wake up a lot more frequent in your sleep. You can't have deep sleep. And then you have some weird dreams, and you know what, when you wake up, you just don't feel good. You're not well rested. So this is why caffeine is actually a very important thing to consider. A good quality beverage like uni mate, for example. You can drink 2 or even 3 cups, you can still sleep okay. Of course, this is depending largely on individual tolerance, but even if you were to take 2 sachets of uni mate, you will feel refreshed, your focus is there, and it doesn't give you all kinds of side effects. Okay, so that's very important why the kind of energy beverage that you choose to go for is really important. Okay, because it can affect your insulin levels. Right? So we are going to talk about uni mate. Okay, it's not just any other herbal drink or coffee or whatever. is actually a very unique and a specific type of tea that is exclusively in this region, that has a lot of popularity in that region for centuries already. And of course, it was the recent World Cup that has brought this yerba mate to new heights. All right, and just so you know, for those who have just joined us, Argentina actually brought in 500 kilograms of yerba mate, and that has helped their team significantly in the World Cup finals. All right, but of course, we are way ahead of the game already. Okay, we are here and we have tracked Uni Mate 2017, yeah. And we have already been benefiting from this a lot. So the World Cup definitely added to the testimonial of this drink. Okay, so why is this so great about this drink? So there are many components about this drink that makes it fantastic. Okay, but I'm going to focus on this chlorogenic acid. So this chlorogenic acid has been found to have significant benefits, especially in the area of mental health and also metabolically. Right, I will go through very quickly two of these things. So over time, there are many research that shows about how chlorogenic acid is protective to our brain. Okay, our neural pathway, how it protects our brain. It's like a shield to oxidative damage. And it can also protect us from degenerative brain things like Alzheimer's, and things like that. It exhibit protective benefits. And not only just that, okay, it can improve our IQ, our mood, our cognitive behavior, reduce our anxiety, depression, okay, against psychiatric and cognitive disorders. So it is really, that's what made it so unique and special. And this is what gave the World Cup, okay, the Argentina team, the kind of focus, okay, the kind of mental clarity to go with the game. And just to let you know, actually, even though mental thing, people may think that it's a very emotional thing, but I can tell you it's not. What will guarantee you success, okay, in any kind of health plan? Now we're talking about feel good, right? Even feel good is the same. You need to have the mental willpower to last through the fast and to believe that this program is going to work for you. Because your motivation and your mental ability is what will give you the confidence, right? And this is why it says here, metabolic health starts from the brain. When your brain is in a good place, when it's not in a good place, for example, your depressed mood, okay, you tend to want to give up, poorer overall health, you will not succeed also. I can give you the best and the easiest thing to do, but if your brain is not in the right place, you're not in the right zone, okay, no matter how it is, you will not see any success also. So that's why it's very important that your mental state has to be in a good place so that you have better productivity. You can go through every challenge, even though the fasting can be difficult for you, 16-hour fast, or you don't give into the urge of giving up. So this is very important, and with chlorogenic acid, it can help to lock you into the right mental space and help you to get there. Right? So on top of all those great mental and mood boosting benefits, it also helps to increase our fat burning capacity. So it helps to regulate fat and glucose. Okay, it also have this regulatory role, okay, in the sugar and fat kind of dynamic in the body. It also helps to lower insulin levels. All right, it has its own mechanism to do that. It assists to get us into the fat burning zone. So if you don't have any tool, it is going to be quite difficult. All right, so if we have this fat burning zone, you can get your insulin levels low enough to go into it without needing to go through anything too drastic. Okay, increases your metabolism and manage your hunger pangs. So it plays a very important complementary role with Biosarf S. And together, when you take it, it can really help you to last through the 16 days. All right, so this is how it looks like your daily life. Okay, it's very easy. 6 a.m. you wake up, okay, you just put the timing there. So whatever it is, just don't take any food, and you can take water or black coffee. Okay, but of course, Uni Mate is way better than that. Then you take your Biosarf S whenever you break your fast. Okay, after the 16-hour fasting, just take 15 minutes before food, get the netting all ready in your body, all right, to capture whatever excess sugar that will be from your food. So in between, if you do feel kind of hungry, then you can take a snack. But I highly encourage you to take protein. Why? Because protein can, first of all, also help to curb high insulin levels, and it can also prevent you from losing muscle mass. Because many people, when they're in weight loss, okay, you will inevitably lose some muscle also. So we do not want you to look haggard and to have some deficiencies. So it's good to always, supplement with some kind of protein in your daily life. All right, then after that, breakfast, the same thing like dinner before food, then we fast to the next day. I can tell you there's nothing easier than this. This is the easiest plan I've ever seen and can give you the results that you are looking for. All right. So if it's too difficult for some people, you can always scale it down. 4-4-12 is basically the same. The only difference is that you take a breakfast, and like I said, take a protein shake or whatever protein to give you the satiety, all right, and to give you additional nutrients. Okay, 4 hours to your next meal and basically 12-hour fasting, right? So it's very simple. This whole concept, 2 products and 1 practice, it helps all of us, okay, because it is achievable. Everybody will achieve some form of results. As long as you follow it consistently and correctly, you can definitely see some changes. It's realistic, unlike some other extreme diet things out there, or you have to fast on severe calorie restriction or exercise. This is realistic, doable, and most importantly, is effective. Okay, flexible, easy to follow, and this is really a no-brainer that anybody can embark on. All right, so I hope you have learned, and my session is not too long today. So of course, what I've said today are great knowledge for you to understand, but we would also want to see some real life results, right? So happy to say that Feel Great is a worldwide movement. Okay, it has taken the world by storm, and we have thousands of testimonials all around the world. So let's go by region, and I think we should start from US, okay, since this is where it really exploded. So let's see some of the videos here that shows how Feel Great can help those who have problems. Okay, let's take a look.
Everybody has somebody in their family that has blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, and that big waistline. And this was exactly Dave's story. Look at that, and look at Dave now. That's incredible. Dave, how much weight have you lost?
52 pounds.
That's incredible. Your blood sugars used to be 17.6. Now they're perfect. So what happened to your diabetes medication?
Gone.
What about cholesterol medication?
Gone.
What about your acid reflux?
Gone.
And now you're also getting blood pressure readings that are normal?
Yeah, 120, 70 every day.
So aside from the Feel Great system, what diet are you following?
I'm not following a diet. Eat normally. Just Unimasi in the morning and balance before my meals.
It's as simple as that.
All right, the next one.
100 pounds weight loss looks like.
Plant-based products. In 34 weeks, I've lost 101 pounds. But 34 weeks ago, I used to fit in these jeans. Now look at them.
Well, look at how these jeans used to be double his size, and now he can do this, okay, he can just fit into new jeans. And just now, the earlier testimonial, the person is not on any medications and not following any diets, right? Isn't that a great thing to know?
100.
Sorry. Okay, so how about some local results? Okay, we also have some, testimonials here around the region that is closer to us. So here are some quick ones. So it's before, after, and she's able to lose 14 kilos. Before, after, he has lost 8 kilos. Before, after, and this person has lost 9 kg and also a reduction in his cholesterol levels. And this is also another great testimonial, and I have the privilege of hearing it firsthand last month when we had a physical Singapore gathering. All right, so look at the same shirt, but you can see it's like almost 2 different body. All right, so before and after, he used to be 84 kg. Okay, Justine used to be 84 kg. And now he is only 69 kg, and he has lost a total of 15 kg throughout these 4 to 5 months while he's on Feel Great. And on top of that, okay, his HbA1c levels is astonishing. From a 8.6, he has reduced now to 6.1. So this is like the kind of result that usually you can only see with medication, right? Okay, so he's able to reduce 2.5 unit in a drastic change by simply going on to the Feel Great program. Right? Last but not least, we have another testimonial, which I also had the privilege of hearing firsthand, okay, in Singapore. And this individual, Mr. Rod, okay, you can look at the huge difference, especially at the belly area. He used to be 130 kilos, and he was able to lose 13 kgs throughout this short span of 4 months. Okay, and on top of them, what makes this even more impressive is the sugar aspect. Okay, he's able to reduce the medication that he's on. So he was on insulin, 28 unit, and through this program, he's able to cut it to half. Okay, only 18 unit right now. Yeah, I think if we are all there, we'll be clapping hands already. And he's also on metformin at the same time to manage his condition. So through Feel Great, he's able to reduce it from a 3 times a day to a 2 times a day dosage. So Feel Great has helped him to lose his weight and also slowly improving his metabolic indicators. So I think these are just great and fantastic testimonials to solidify the effects of how Feel Great can truly impact all of us. All right. So these are just some of the fantastic testimonials that we have seen over time, and we are sure that your time will come too. All right, so if you're on the fence and if you're new, you are thinking about it, seriously, there's nothing to lose. All right, just go into it. No side effects. Try it for yourself. If it works, you benefit. All right, so this is the end of today's session. And yeah, so we are now open to any Q&A. All right, if there's any questions that you would like to address or you want to know, you can always ask in the chat. All right, so you can take the time to think while I drink a bit of a drink first, okay? All right, great. We have some questions here already. So let me answer some of them. Okay, first one is Mr. Soon Antoine. Yeah, change your brain, change your health. You're right. Should we go for insulin tests? Actually, I do encourage because the normal blood tests that we go for, they don't tell us, they don't inform us on insulin tests. You do have to go for another test if you want to know that in detail. So through these tests, you are able to really find out, okay? Sometimes if you have if you have normal sugar range, your insulin can still be high. So your sugar level may not reflect that. So insulin tests can definitely give you a lot more in-depth about exactly how is it going into your body. So I think that's a great question. All right. Okay, how about the sugar in our bile stuff? All right, I think this question is in the minds of many because it tastes a little bit sweeter, right? Compared to other variants like bile size 7 and bile size C+. But rest assured, the sugar is not sugar. Okay, I've also clarified there's no fructose. There's no fructose in our this thing. Okay, this bile stuff S, it comes purely from the plants that is inside. Okay, so and yeah, it comes from the plants in there. And I've also spoken, and these are some of the safe kind of alternative sweeteners that we do use, and it has been widely used even in medical institutions. So the sweeteners they don't induce, okay, they will not spike sugar levels. So just to give you the assurance that the taste is really purely from the formulation, from the natural sweetness of the fruits and the components inside. So it will not spike any sugar. So we cannot just go by taste alone. Right, so that is not an indicator about how it would potentially affect our sugar levels. Right, so don't worry about that in bile stuff S. Okay, so what is the minimum time frame required to see visible results? Of course, sustainable, if you want to see a drastic effect, will take 2 to 3 months. But actually, if you start 30 days, if you start for 30 days, you can already start seeing something. All right, either it will be your weight, definitely your weight will go down a bit, or your inches, you will feel different, okay? And yeah, I think as soon as 30 days or so, you can already start seeing some. Of course, if you want to see the full effect, you can go so much more than just a month, right? So 2 to 3 months would be ideal. Okay, so do these people who lost weight through fasting do exercise at the same time? I don't think so, you know. I think those who, the testimonials just now, they don't. But of course, for those, okay, but of course, there are many different things to take into consideration. If the person, before they start off, okay, they are already at the very high side. And if they lose straight away, they will be able to see a kind of result. But for some people, if your weight is not at the very high kind of side, you are borderline overweight, you want to go down, our weight loss rate will not be as fast. Okay, you need to understand that. Because if your stature is bigger, your metabolic rate to lose will be also faster at that time. So we cannot really compare the speed of weight loss compared to those who have not started any changes compared to us who are on a more leaner stature. So in that sense, if you're already borderline, or if you're like, for example, having a bit of resistance, okay, naturally, if you can do some physical activity, that would be beneficial. All right, you can see faster results, and of course, not just only for weight loss purpose, there are many other health benefits along with it. So if you ask me, okay, yeah, you cannot do exercise if only you can still see some results. But if you're on a leaner stature and you are already facing a plateau, then exercise in this way can help, right? Okay. Right, breakfast with uni mate is it okay to have an egg? Yeah, breakfast with uni mate, is it okay? You mean breaking your fast, is it? Well, if you break your fast, you can eat anything. I think it's no problem to take it with an egg. Yeah, feel free. Right? Yeah, stevia, yeah, that's the word. Didn't come in my mind just now. All right, so is it true that as we age, metabolism slow down fat burning off? Is it true that as we age, metabolism slow down fat burning, or fat slow down our metabolism? Okay, yeah, as you age, of course, your metabolism will slow down. And that is a huge factor lah. As you age, your metabolism will slow down as a whole. And fat, yeah, if you have too much fat, it can slow down our metabolism. But of course, this is a different theory compared to what I spoke about just now. Right? Okay, so my mom got acid reflux since younger days with Buzz Life for near 20 years, so have good blood tests annually, okay? However, recently she got very high blood pressure. So my sibling implement stop her twice a day. Buzz Life 7, would it be wise to help her cholesterol? Oh, it's actually a very long question, you know, I have to read again. So are you trying to say that there's no good result? Well, you've got blood, so my sibling implement to stop her twice a day. Okay, I don't really understand the whole context of your question. It's quite long here. And from what I understand, is it that she stopped eating Buzz Life 7 completely? Okay, so perhaps you can make it more concise and you can send me an email. Okay, just don't really want to misinterpret this question. But if she's not seeing any, if she doesn't really have any individual reactions towards the product and she's still seeing progress, high blood pressure should be okay to take Buzz 7. I don't think that's an issue. All right. Okay, this is Mr. Kelly's Joseph Lim's view here. Okay, Rod Rosman was not able to exercise. Okay, when he started 130 kg, he only started very light workouts, like walking on the treadmill. When he reached 118, which is all was lost. Okay, so this person, this person, he couldn't. If you're really overweight, actually, it's very hard to work out. Also, this is also another point to stress, because your joints, they really cannot move them as well. So I think Mr. Rod's testimonial is really amazing. Okay, so okay, I think Veronica, you could maybe just write me an email, okay, and you know, just tell me a bit more detail about her situation, then perhaps I will address your question then. All right, so yeah, thank you everyone. Is there still any other questions? If not, then okay, we can move into another exciting part, which is okay, our grand opening. So this is happening very soon on the 3rd of May. So we are preparing this for like a month or so already, okay, because we are very excited to officially really tie in this event. And I can actually give you a very quick view of our office. Okay, it's like really completely, it's really like completely brand new. Okay, this may not be the best view lah, huh? Of course, you have to come here and see it for yourself. Okay, so this is not like just any other event. Okay, it's very different because it is like a, you know, it's like a festivity come learning and product experience. So we do hope it's the best time to bring in a friend. Okay, you want to introduce them to Unicity and the products that we do have. This is a great opportunity. And we have a lot of, we have exclusive giveaways, we have workshops, we have demonstration and product experience. So we hope you can join alongside us and be part of this great celebration. All right, so thank you so much, everybody, for your time, okay, for taking your precious time and to spend it with us. We hope that every single time when we come together, you get something new and you're able to benefit and learn more about the topic of nutrition and health. So it's a great pleasure as always. And if you have questions, please feel free to send me an email if I don't answer you correctly, or to your satisfaction, please send me an email. All right, so thank you, everybody. Have a great night.